have a look. Hells. Gonna have hunting dogs. Extra favor gathering with Zeus. Grass. Go for hunting dogs as well, taking that early eco guild. Man, the Shielders next door are having a party, right? And they've had a fucking skin full. You can hear them through the fucking walls. It's a cyclone-rated building, so I shouldn't be able to. So I think it's going to be pretty slow until we actually get into Classical Age, and then we'll actually start seeing a bit of pressure here. Players actually start to mount a bit of an offensive, so Hells is going to add the temple or grass a little way off with the food. We gather out the berries and I find a gazelle up here. Both our players need a bit more food before they can actually age up here. Health Scout's already really low, so he can't afford to stay and try and harass the villagers at all, because he'll lose him. I mean, he could and free up a bit of population, but then he loses out on the vision, potentially stealing a last pig or two out on the map. So Hells is aging up, Grass is aging up. Hells attempting to harass Grass, but this time with his next hunt, he's actually got 2 citizens, instantly turns one into hero, has a hero oracle here, has the mana here, so everything going according to plan so far. So I saw in Reven versus Dober, Reven lost a citizen in this position, was really rough to try and come back from. It's always a good idea to have a mana. If you are going for this distant hunt on maps where you don't have like a close chickens, or you know, you're trying to skip the berries, or you just want to get out in these out in the map hunts before you've got your own wall of Prometheans and some Murmillos and Terma to actually try and ward off some Greek or Norse early aggression. And even later on, it just buys you the time. Like if your opponent's got raiding units, raiding cav for Norse, or you know, cavalry for Egyptians, Hippocons for Greeks, Ulfs for Norse, you just garrison up until you get your other shit over here, protect them. Ank of Ra for Hells. So it'd be a pretty useful god power, that one. I mean, pretty useful relic, that one. Bit of extra favor trickle. No relics yet for Grass. What else we got here? Orpheus line of sight. It's alright. Not the best, not the worst. Not a lot of relics here. I think it must only be the 2. So hoplite production. Centaur for Hells. Grass just adding Toma Murmillo for the minute. Don't know if he's going to really add too many more Prometheans. You sort of just generate the favour as Atlanteans over time because it's based on your settlement count. Greeks, it's actually like a regular resource they've got to like gather. You almost basically mine or chop it from the temple as such. Whereas yeah, the other civs, your favour income isn't really dictated by how many villages you're pulling off your other resources to gather it. It's just really dictated by, well, you know, how many settlements you got for Atlanteans or Egyptians. You got to invest in unique buildings. And it's much the same. Norse is a bit of a weird one because I think Hersia generate it, but then also taking fights generates it. And I think even killing huntables generates it. So this is a little bit rough here for Grass. Getting interrupted here. He's gonna be able to get the garrison off. Kills the scout as well, so that's nice. Bottomly doesn't go as well for Hells as it could have. Has to use the bolt. And he's not going to be able to get the citizen, but the citizen's not going to be able to gather until something can clean this up. There's probably going to need to be a hero, a hero Terma instead of a hero Mamilo, so he doesn't just get kited. Grass is even attempting to try and mine through this, because he's trying to harass while this is going on. Got a nice force against Hells here. Yeah, the Terma will really be able to clean that up quite quickly. Only take 3 or 4 hits to kill the Centaur with his hero upgrade. I think without it, it favours the Centaur, but only just. I mean, I think it still favours the Centaur pretty bigly because it's human unit versus myth. Once you take hero, it's no competition. But Centaur's got to get the fuck out. They're very expensive.
Yuji. Burek. Yuji.
The Atlantean units aren't particularly cheap, so taking the hero upgrade is actually pretty substantially expensive until you can actually get... where is it? Heart of the Titans.
Yuji.
And even then, investing in it early on might not really be worth it because you probably only want like a slight smattering of hero units. Like 3 of them looks like just about enough. 3 hero Termas looks just about enough to try and ward off the Centaur. So Hell's losing a structure there. And a villager. Ooh, now a Centaur Grass is going to pinch off him. Hell's going to try and rebuild that Mill Academy. It's a tough comp for the Greek player to take a fight into. Grass managing to take out a Centaur here and there. It's really paying a dividend. The Master Centaur now being sent to try and harass again, but Grass might even be able to spot this and save it. No, he's not going to be quick enough to see it, but there is only the 1 citizen there, so it's not the biggest of blows. And you can always bring these guys up here. Looks like Hell's desperately having to rely on that. The house not finished up and doesn't really need the house at the moment actually. But he's not really been able to mass up the unit comp of the Atlantean players so far. Hell's 79 population of Grass is 114. It's been a really boomy start for our Atlantean player with pretty much non-stop Terma Mamilo production since the start. I think the attempt to try and play around Centaur is sort of bit Hells because he's had to delay other military production. So by the time he's really gotten going with enough Hippicons to
Burek.
really make adding Term a bad idea, there's already enough
Skopos.
Mamilo here that a small number of Hippicons really doesn't matter, and you can just keep investing in Terma. Because the thing with that is they're often probably feel shoehorned into Heroic Age because they can't really leverage Terma value well. But if you snipe, you know, the enemy backline, and they are expensive myth units, particularly Greek, it really hampers them early on, I think. Well, really anyone, because, you know, they're not investing in a greedier build instead, and you're then dealing damage. But right now, Grass is going to Heroic Age, while Hells is really only just maxing, and still quite a way off the gold and the food he actually needs to go for Heroic. Grass will be able to go for the quicker first town center here on a nice catch with a Terma. He's going to prevent the Centaur from actually harassing and denying the settlement, because I think if Hells had hit that, it probably would have really brought him back into the game here. And slowed down the Atlantean economically enough that he couldn't really leverage the increased tech of being up in age. But saying that, this could be a rough fight for either of our players if they misplay it. Both of them skillful enough to just pull their expensive ranged units out of there. You don't want Hero Terma being surrounded by human units, but you don't want Centaur being surrounded by. So Grass using Chaos there, actually landing on one of the Centaur, which is a bit costly. Because, I mean, if it had have just gone on 3 Hoplites or 2 and a Hippicon, it would have been worth a lot less value. But these guys, 200 resources and favor on top of that, so it ends up being a lot more of a cost. 2 Hells, and he's got to stop and fight them. And so while Hells is trying to raid here with 1,000 wood, you know, and 40, 50 favor worth, he hasn't got all these over here to prevent the villagers from getting attacked. The Wolof helps Hells evacuate here pretty much losslessly, which is good, because I think Grass would roll him in a fight at the moment. Considering Grass slightly up on terms of the population, and yeah, again, Centaur split up from the main army, trying to get some rating value off, but they're warded off with a smaller number of Terma, so I think these guys, not only is this a cheaper army, I think it's more pop efficient too. And bearing in mind, Hero Terma's not really going to deal a lot of damage to human units, which is the bulk of the army at the end of the day, so losing out 5 Centaur for 3 Terma, really rough there for Hells. Not really getting the run-by value he's looking for so far. Now he's going to try and take the full-on engagement. Grass has got everything here as well. Bearing in mind, Grass is up in age. But other than... oh, he's got heavy Momilo, but other than that, he doesn't really have any